Don't actually give a fuck about the game until you're in
Um,
like advanced invite.
where do I start? I think I'm gonna start with last. Oh, this is not my last. I knew that because I went away from it. Engineer. When you're holding last, ideally you have engineer. The same rules apply to this map as they do for most Sixes maps. Ideally, you get an engineer level 3 gun. If not, heavy. That's kind of the go-to. I would say the best gun spot that I'm pretty aware of is if you can get a level 3, just ripping this one right here. And then since your soldiers are already top right, they can kind of shoot down at the people who have to peek that gun anyways.
Sorry, is this on evens? Just by the way.
Oh, yeah. Evens. Disad, you're probably not going to have time to even get a level 3, so just come up heavy.
Right.
And then you just hold this last like every other. But for evens, ideally, if you can get a level 3 gun, get it in this spot. This spot's really good.
What
And
about under
then
the bridge? I've heard that.
that spot is good too. I know some people do dispenser and then bridge there.
Do you
I
still
think
put
I just prefer this one
you
a
still
little
put
bit more.
Okay. Do you put the med still like under bridge though? If the gun's still there, or where does your med play like forward?
I kind of don't mind the med playing forward if you know there isn't a sniper. If there's a sniper, you probably should just hold your dispenser here with your med and just play really, really lame.
Okay.
And then just play with gun. A good way to play it is just have your flank scout. Actually, it doesn't really matter which scout, but a scout with the demo man watching top left, and then 2 soldiers here. Once you have the level 3 gun, moving 1 soldier like right here, or just like in general this area, while the other one spots here is good because it's really easy to bomb back over here, and make sure that when the soldiers double peek, if they double peek from dungeon, if you get 1 rocket on the soldiers double peeking from dungeon, the gun will probably end up killing them. I think this is just a super default of just, if you get level 3, this, double soldier up top, when they start pressuring, you move the soldier over here, and then keep 1 over here. I don't care which soldier does it. Make sure you just know how to get on top of here without rocket jumping, or just the movement area. Just being on soldier and knowing how to like navigate and fall off this, having your pack. This is a really strong area to like peek from. Another great spot for being on last, this is for the soldiers. If you're playing double soldier, I do this all the time, where I'll have my pocket soldier, I play roamer, so I'll have my pocket soldier watch right here, or back up to here, and call me in, and you'll just sit up here, and when they're peeking or pressuring, you can't see around that corner until you're like this far. If you have a buff, you are guaranteed a kill. If they are buffed, I would say you probably get them a lot of the time. This corner is like really deep and dark right there. I wouldn't overplay that move, but in a recommendation for an official that's going to last a long time, you should throw this one out every once in a while. You just say, call me in. Your 1 soldier watches from here. The other soldier goes here, waits for the call, and then you just kind of double rocket everything in this like little area because that corner is so good. Besides that, I would say this last isn't that complicated from any other last. I'm certain you guys will do okay on it. It's not too bad. What else about this last is interesting? Sniper's pretty... Well, a good weapon, I bet. Sniper's pretty good on this one. Watching from back here is really strong. A lot of teams like pressuring from dungeon and right anyways. So playing flank scout onto sniper on evens, not a bad pick ever. Having double scout off class on evens, I think is really good. In officials, it's like so lame, but winning is cooler than being lame. Or winning is... I don't really care what I just said. But you know what I mean. Yeah. Winning is way more important than being cool. That's what I meant to say. So, Pyro and Engineer, you have your Pyro Reflect rockets, or coming up Sniper and watching here. Both really strong options I'd recommend. I don't know if you have any other questions about the last. I don't really think this one's that complicated, so I don't really know what else I'd say.
Also, you can put a teleporter behind the barrels that.
Oh.
And you have a really cheeky peak spot on.
Yeah, you're right. All right, you did a demo review. I do love this. I didn't know about this that long. You can kind of head glitch a little bit over
Yeah,
because
you
sniper
can
is
head
slightly
glitch
taller
that.
than engineer.
Yeah, it's because no, it's because you or what's it called? Is it because I don't know.
I think it's a mix of it being you walking over them heavier in other classes as well as sniper is just taller so you can see further over.
But it's sick. Let me tell you.
Yeah, that is a good spot. Yeah, you just place the exit there and then
Now that I'm on demo, I can't use it, so I need to share my knowledge.
Yeah, that's a great spot.
What, were you gonna gatekeep that otherwise if you were still on scout? Sorry guys, I'm gonna gatekeep this tech.
Yes.
Your engineer place this teleporter here and everyone look away. I can't see.
That's so funny.
Alright, if anyone doesn't have any questions about last, I'll just move on from
Is there
it.
any disad magic? I mean, other than just like have traps on point, like have your soldiers ready to deny point, like that sort of stuff.
Not really for if
Watch
you
out
aren't
for
on
the
soldier.
cones.
If you are on soldier, just yeah, the cones are kind of a spot. A lot of the time they get shot off in like an exchange or if you get that gun anyways, but the cones are on every map is going to be a trap spot. Soldiers, if you're watching from here and if they Uber into you, you're kind of dead because you can't really jump back, but you can jump to the side. One of you is probably dying. If they Uber from the other side, it's the way I always play this on Roamer is if they Uber from that side, literally just like kind of placing my mouse in this area so I can see dungeon, right, and there. So if they don't come to me, I literally just stay here and try and shoot at the doorways. And I only want to use one rocket at a time because you want to keep a lot of rockets so you're able to jump out and deny if you need to. You never should use all 4 rockets on disad. But I kind of just like look over in this area so I can see if there's anything coming at me. If anything comes at me from dungeon, or especially right here, dungeon you can try and go for the air shot, but if it's a scout, you can kind of spam down. But if it's anything coming from over here, just jump onto catwalk, or I mean, some people call it shit dick for some reason. I don't really remember why. But
I don't know.
Yeah, I gotta head off, gamers.
Alright, I'm recording
good
this
night.
Raptor, so you can watch it after. But
Alright, cool beans. See y'all later.
combo. I'm gonna combo kind of just play the spawn as you have to. Soldiers, just living on this last is quite hard. You can both kind of do this move together, and that'll run out sometime, especially because they're gonna have to come from there. But it's holding pretty much just like any other. But I would heavily suggest one of you soldiers learn how to play this kind of angle I'm talking about. Preferably Fuka, because I think the roamer should do it. I think you're on roamer still, or I know you guys have.
I'm on pocket now because he's just better on rummer than he's on pocket. It's just working out more consistent.
All right, so yeah, I guess the roamer, so Itzy, I would definitely learn this angle. Just if you could jump by, you can kind of see them from right. What's nice is yeah, you can see them coming into dungeon. So unless they're in the corner, you can kind of see everything you need to. And if they Uber onto you, like just being behind this thing and then being able to spam and then drop down from both sides is really strong for one of your soldiers to be able to do.
Pocket scout, it's really annoying dealing with that position.
Exactly. That's proof. That's probably all I'll go over in the last. It's not really that complicated of holding the last. I'll talk about pushing last in a minute. But holding second on disad, it's pretty much there's like one way on disad. If you're holding it on disad, you hold bats. If you are leaving and it's disad or you're getting chased, if you can make it to shutter, go with shutter. If you can't, it's good to go dungeon with your scout if you're on medic or just in general. If it's even, you have pocket soldier play calf side. Sometimes up here if you're not going to get spammed off by the demo, but normally calf side. You can rely on this pack and the buff from the medic. Roamer, you play Valley. Flank Scout, you also kind of play Valley and in between checking Valley and checking Choke. Actually, both Roamer and Flank Scout kind of both do that. Medic, on evens, when your team is holding, usually you just play Plat. With your Demo and your Pocket Scout. Demo, you'd want to be trapping either here or Choke if you have time. Or sometimes people will trap the whole lighthouse for the high bomb as a prediction, or just the ground. There's a lot of spots you can trap, but pretty much you're just playing up here with your combo. Yeah, holding's pretty simple.
Question for you.
Yeah.
I was always told, especially now that I'm playing demo, you should always rotate your demo to where their demo is playing. So, like, if they're pressuring Valley, should I rotate, like, across point and, like, spam them?
I agree. I think your team should be spotting, so it's not that big of a deal. If you're on demo, I think rotating over through here is fine, especially because you can, since they're kind of on low ground too in a way. Because when they're here, they're on such low ground, and if they're here already, they should be taking like an absurd amount of spam. Nothing should ever get through here for free without taking damage, unless they're Ubering or unless you don't have all your players. If you have 6 players and somehow someone gets to here without taking damage, turn your monitor on. That's my step number. But yeah, I think rotating to over here is fine with meeting them, and then having your pocket soldiers stay over there and spotting calf and choke while you're. I usually just have the roamer stay here and then keep spamming, or get up here if you can if it's very early in the fight. But through point is also okay. I will say the issue with going through point specifically of it, yeah, is if you rotate through the point and they're pressuring for a sack, and like you are anywhere in here, the roamer is just going to see that as free because you can't surf out of this room. Like he's going to shoot at your feet. You're going to, no matter what, hit the like walls of the ceiling. So I'd say this is risky. If you know the roamer isn't ready, or for some reason you know you're not going to get bombed, I guess this is fine. Actually, if you're not going to get bombed at all, and you for some reason you know they're not going to get bombed, like they only have 1 soldier, soldiers are weak, whatever, I would say walking through here is probably fine. I can't think of a logistical reason it wouldn't be, but I would say for the most part, usually I'd watch a demo and see what others do, but I think this is probably pretty normal of just going here and then meeting them with your soldier on the left side in your combo. Yeah, I don't think second's that crazy. I'd say pushing is the much more interesting stuff on this map than it is holding. Holding mid is pretty. Holding mid on even.
So wait,
if you aren't getting ready for a stock, go yeah.
While we're talking about what's the best way to push out of second with ad, right?
With ad,
I like if it's a lot of ad, I like to just take it like cafe, or I mean you could go any of the 3 doors honestly, just take it slow and look for traps and soldiers. But
personally, I think if you're trying to walk through without using cafe or choke, if you have like soldiers coming through valley to help you, I think valley is like the easiest one to bomb.
Well, most of the teams play to leave cafe or whatever, so it just if you're valley,
yeah, well the whole thing is if they
them, right?
Yes, which is why you can try to use that to catch them.
Right, but that's why you wouldn't want to go there if you're trying to milk, exactly.
Yeah, if you enter through cafe though, if they're holding cafe or choke, it's a lot harder to see you, and so usually you get spotted a little later, and it's a little harder for soldiers to bomb you. The only exception is if there's a soldier above cafe, but even then it's not that free, especially if he gets spotted, because your medic is pretty safe to bait a little bit as you walk through.
I agree with all those statements. I'd say hope I don't forget saying this earlier, so I'm going to say it now. If you are trying to get out of cafe and there's a soldier above, if you're the soldier up here, the only way to do this play successfully is not peek over here. You're going to get rolled. I'll explain why. The only time I've ever had success killing people who are coming out of cafe on soldier is like C-tapping or going high and knowing what side they're going to be through team calls. So that's kind of a hard spot to play. But the way you leave it is you have your pocket soldier or your roamer either buffed jump through choke, very bad, as you know, buff through choke either this way or the other way, going that way. But most of the time you have one of your soldiers, usually your pocket soldier, and your roamer goes valley if you're going out of choke. Or if you're going out of cafe, typically you have your roamer in valley, and your pocket soldier will do some sort of bomb, usually like this, or it doesn't really matter where he fades onto, but when he's doing a 2-part bomb through choke, he can very easily see if there's something in this area. That is his job. If you're a pocket soldier and you can get through and land on here without traps, usually they're going to be in the corner that you land on, you can spot everything very easily. I would say it's up to the pocket soldier. If you don't have time for some reason, you have to, and you're a pocket scout, usually the ideal would be just jumping to here and then hope you don't get triple rocketed, because you'll survive the 2 rocket with the medic, but that's how you push out of cafe. It's kind of hard to explain, but like with somewhat smart soldiers, you should be capable. If you don't have a pocket soldier, or you don't have anyone who can spot that, when you're playing roamer, I don't ever suggest you walk around this corner. I was taught this by an invite player, and I've seen very good success. Just jump to here. You have so much freedom to do a lot of things from here. Either bombing around the corner, forward, or bombing back really, really fast with the pack there is good. Being able to get on this is insane. Sitting up here and spamming sometimes isn't even a bad idea if you aren't getting spotted. But the reason I brought this up was because coming Valley, you can also spot. There is really no reason a soldier on top of here should get any kills. You should have one soldier who's able to spot from when they jump through choke or your roamer in Valley.
That's why I like going cafe to milk.
Gotcha.
Yeah, cafe's not a bad option to milk at all.
So we just have to make sure our soldiers are checking above.
Yes, it really should be up to the soldiers more than the scouts, or more than the pocket scout and the demo. The demo and the scout really should be spotting anything on the cafe because not because they are doing anything wrong if they are, just because your soldiers and your scouts so easily available to do it for you. Bomb, flank scout can peek it even sometimes. There's just no reason you should have any accidents in cafe when they're pushing like that. What else was I going to say that's important? Oh, the reason you see a lot of teams trying to milk or push through Valley is because kind of if you get caught and you use, it's really easy to bomb out of it with your demo. And I know a lot of invite medics, not that I know personally, I find it very easy to strafe backwards if you linger really, really hard. If you linger kind of back in this area and you're really having your scouts and your soldiers and your demos spot everything properly, you can pretty reliably sit here and then move only to just choke area when you're comfortable. Because if you're down here and you are spotting properly as a medic, it's very easy to strafe and surf out of this little pit as well as there's a pack available. But I kind of agree. This is from a soldier's perspective. I usually see it as kind of a free bomb on the combo because you can go around the corner super easily if you don't get spotted. So it's kind of up to you guys how you want to push out of Valley, but there is advantages pushing out of Valley and Calf. Choke is kind of the same thing of just you have your people spot on both sides. The number one thing you'd want to be aware of when if you're pushing out your choke is like the easiest bomb ever. You are not seen until you are around the corner pretty much of just landing in there. Like a good soldier, you can get really far with literally just one rocket, which means that soldier will have 3. So pushing out of choke is very risky to me. I think it has its place. But if they have both soldiers, I wouldn't really push out of choke. This bomb is so simple and so effective. If you have 300 right here, and they're pushing choke, you are guaranteed getting a kill. I would say it's very easy to know if there's a soldier up there, because someone's going to be spotting for them. They're not going to blind jump. So if you see anyone spotting you choke, I would say it's very reliable you are going to get bombed from that spot. It's still good to push out a choke sometimes if they don't have soldiers or they're at disadvantages or you know the soldiers can't bomb, aka you see them or one of them is too low. But I would, if you guys want to set defaults and you guys know how to do Cafe the best, I just know that you've commented on it, Billy. Maybe you can just set Cafe as a default push out. It's not bad.
I think I like that one the best so far. Just thinking about all the ways that things could go wrong.
Yeah, understandably. So
I think we'll have it as a default. I think generally it's probably, I don't know. My philosophy is you maybe don't want to do the same way of pushing out every single time, but
yeah, never. I mean, I think having a default, the one you first practice for scrims, is not bad at all.
Yeah,
if you want it to be that, I'm sure. So that's pushing out of second, sort of. Holding mid on evens is really, really simple. It's kind of just you just sit around. More specifically, you'd want either a flank scout. Actually, I would say this time it is flank scout. Peeking Valley constantly and seeing what's going on. From either this little of sight to as much as this much sight. Clear your corners, but it's really, really hard to get caught as the flank scout, while watching Valley or doing something. You kind of just have to feed to do it. Yeah, like if you cross this corner, anything can happen. But there's never a reason on Flank Scout you should be like feeding or dying while watching Valley, unless you get pushed for some dumb reason. So I would say if your Flank Scout watch Valley. If you're not expecting a sack, I'm just going to pretend we are sacking first. Flank Scout still would be watching Valley, and if you're sacking, you don't need to be holding up here or height or anything. If you're expecting a sack, you would. But usually you're going to have both your soldiers on the ground or in Valley, getting buff as you're working a sack. The two most common sacks in this map are from Valley and Choke. There is a Cafe third one, but it's not as common. But I'd say the biggest default sack in Sunshine, which you should all work on like a lot, is having your combo pressure Valley, and having your soldier sack through choke onto their plat, or all the way around here if they know that the demo and medic have moved up a lot. If they haven't, and you're just like first sacking and your pressure isn't insane, so the medic is still on plat, go around. If it isn't, and you're good enough at strafing and you know they're on the ground, try and get around the corner and land on the demo. That's usually easier. It's just kind of just that bomb. I don't really see many people do this, but I don't think it's that hard of a jump. I'm going to say that, mess it up. If you know the demo's on the ground, going to that side isn't that hard, and landing here. If you get a good jump, sometimes you can go past, but landing here isn't even bad either. Usually nobody's on points, so you're not going to get shot from very close here, and you can get spam. Let me see if I can actually even... Okay, so I guess you can go on that side too, but... Yeah, I'd say the most common sack is just having your combo pressure Valley to make them distracted and exposed to some degree, and then have your roamer sack. Another sack that I would do with my teammate, it's not very hard, is the same thing with your team pressuring there, but you have your flank scout sitting here, and you have your pocket soldier fade to Valley. If you have a 250 buff, unless you get triple air shot, you're going to survive as pocket soldier. Just practice that jump. I'm not good at jumping, and I don't even find that one hard. Okay. I find it very hard, actually. Usually you want to go over. The reason I say that you want to go over, I don't even think landing here counts. Even if you landed in the door, I wouldn't say this counts. You're going to get spam rocketed. But yeah, having your pocket soldier go high, landing deep in Valley. You don't even need to shoot a rocket. And then immediately after having your pocket or your roamer sack onto the med, that's probably the biggest default in the game. I'd say it's pretty reliable. The pocket soldier, unless he gets air piped, is probably not going to die, fading into Valley. Your combo, as long as they don't overextend, shouldn't die in Valley while pressuring. Your flank scout should be on here, looking at choke and half to be able to call for your team if he gets pushed or they're trying to flank.
If we're playing Valley, if we're pressuring Valley, it is... Soldiers will bomb us.
Dude, I promise you, there's absolutely zero things I can do as a scout looking out of the doorway, trying to, like, pressure them. I'm literally just standing behind you guys, looking at the top of the railing so for soldiers to come land on you guys, I promise.
Beautiful.
Yeah, no.
That's good.
I've gotten bombed so many times.
Yeah, you're always going to get bombed here. I would say literally this pixel of darkness. This is the point of no return, is what I'd call it. Or, you know what? I'll call it no man's land. If you are here, you cannot expect anything to happen at all. You can't expect to get bombed, but you also can expect to get bombed. Like, you don't know what's going to happen once you cross this line. You could get rushed by their combo because it's around a close door. You could get ultra high bombed by their soldiers. Like, you can get really, really high, like a soldier there. It's also not a hard jump to do. Yeah, even with a normal CFAP, you can still get really good height if they're too close. If you ever see a medic past here, soldiers, honestly, just send it. I don't even care. Just send it. It's like the easiest spam rockets to ever get off. Yeah, if they're past there, you're fine. And if they're kind of backed up and you're counter-sacking and they're still in there, sometimes going from here isn't bad, because you can land on that flank scout to get space. Or if they're still deep, just do the double. It's pretty reliable. You can get a sink or two. But I'd say that's kind of the main sacks that happen. It's really just the choke one. I didn't actually. I'm gonna mention these two real quick. This is kind of if you're chasing or there's an advantage. This one doesn't get an extreme amount of height, but if they're leaving for some reason, or they don't have scouts, or for some reason you're pretty confident with your rockets, aka basically they don't have 6 players alive, this is kind of a cool bomb to do. That side there. You can still get kind of some height here, and if they don't have a scout who's able to shoot you from here or here on the ground, then it's just like a demo or a soldier leaving with the med. From a mid-fight or, say, an advantage gain, that's a good just bomb to know, I think, in general. It's just knowing how to bomb from this side over here. There's a lot of places you can land with that. And then the other cafe sack, I can't really do the jump anymore. You can like do the zoomer speed shot, as High Five calls it. Pretty sure like the easier version is doing it from here, but it's harder to speed shot. Yeah, that's still not terrible. I can't do it. I don't ever sack from here anymore. There's that if they're playing close. I think like the J-Pay speed shot is like that or something. But yeah, you can pretty much sack on soldier pretty reliably from almost anywhere if they let you have good space. Choke is the easiest. The speed shot is kind of a cool thing to know how to do if you can. And then just knowing how to do this jump in general is pretty valuable. You can get pretty far space really easily. I'm going to talk about pushing into last on this map. It's really kind of annoying. Pretty reliably and officials, they're going to do what I pretty much explained, which is having a gun here, maybe pyro, maybe a sniper. I would say this is kind of a belief I've always had. I've never had anyone say this, but I think it's a easy idea to subscribe to, is that your first sack is always going to be your best chance. Usually your first sack of the game, if they are not prepared yet, or even if they are and they just haven't seen you sack once, is probably going to be the biggest use of surprise you're going to get. I'd say the 3 sacks that sort of exist pushing into last are either you go here, I usually do it from here, and then you just onto either the med playing in there or on the demo playing a little bit closer. That's a pretty often sack you can run. The other is if the gun is dead and your team is pressuring top left, is being able to just, if you can get a safe bomb, you can pretty much land anywhere on this last from lower. Having lower, like not being spotted or not being contested in lower is really good. You can do a lot of things from here. It's really easy to get height, like too much height almost. I think another valuable thing, or idea at least, is if they aren't playing top left and they're playing their soldiers top left, if you are here and you didn't get spotted, or you can get into dungeon and not spotted on soldier, pressuring with your team top left against the soldiers here is really good. I can very vividly remember recently playing up against a very hard pug scrim, and very often when we were at Disad, they would start pressuring me top left here and then bomb a 300 soldier from there onto here. Either I would have to give it up or contest and usually lose. Because if you are by yourself on soldier here, you instantly die. And if you have 2, that soldier is still going to get a lot of value in damage while your team pressures here. So I'd say this is a pretty decent play to run, is your team pressuring from here, okay, left, and then either bombing the soldiers or bombing the med. If you have the opportunity to bomb the med, always do that first. But if you can bomb up here and get that soldier pick, that's usually pretty valuable. That's 2 ways to sack really easily. You always want to spot everything in this game. The easiest way to spot top left is here. You can double jump up here and scout, I think. I don't think you need the winger, you might. But being right, you can?
I believe. No, you can. You can.
Okay, good. So yeah, I really like going into this spot and then just jumping off immediately. What's nice about it, kind of, is first of all, if they're shooting a rocket directly at you, you can just walk off. If they shoot it, if they don't know the angle, which not a lot of people do, you have to shoot this thing to splash them off. If they don't go deep into the corner, but if you shoot here, oh my god, I'm an idiot. Maybe this is the wrong version of the map, but I swore you had to shoot that. I don't think that normally splashes. I might just be wrong in that, but oh, you can shoot into there. But yeah, the easiest way, I think, is shooting at this like slice of wood. Usually you can spam people from here, and if they're trying to jump off. Like when you get up here and you're trying to D-hold to not get directed, that still hits you. But that spot is very good for an initial spot. It's very, very safe. Just either rocket jumping or double jumping up here, and then peeking. You can even go around here and look deep. But getting up here and then just jumping right back off is really valuable because you will know if the soldier is holding a barrel, if there's a sniper back here, or if there's a soldier close playing this corner. Sometimes they will. So I really recommend using the spot if you're a spotter. If they're playing gun in the spot, the best way to break it, I think, is probably having your flank scout watch lower, and actually probably your flank scout should be maybe in this doorway, watching lower and upper, and then if you have time to pressure, you'd want to bring almost all 3 explosives or your demo and your pocket soldier over to spam this gun. Yeah, I'd say demo and pocket soldier spamming this gun with any way they can, while those pocket scout shoots at people over here, and the demo spams them over here. You pretty much have to work your way through this like area of the room to be able to spam the gun. With correct like rocket placement and sticky bomb spam early, because you can spam over the barrels onto the soldier or a sniper, you should be able to push someone out in time that you have time to get 2 rockets off. And the reason I say 1 soldier is because the other one ideally would be getting ready for the sack. I would say the most common way this is pushed upon is you have the people top left, your demo and soldier and pocket scout and medic treat space top left. Once they get the gun, you rip the sack wherever the medic is on the map. That's pretty common. Another way is getting the gun, and then if you're healthy, you'll have 1 soldier try and jump through this area, and then just draw eyes while the other soldier gets through either lower or from here and jumps. Being able to, if you can get over here on soldier and you have created this pressure, I would say that the force is almost guaranteed. There's a lot you can do from this position when you're on pocket soldier. Either you're spamming their combo, you can commit also for the sack, because 2-manning isn't really that bad in today's meta. If you can get to here on pocket soldier and do those things, you can also get to here. This draws a lot of eyes. On roamer, you're either sacking from lower, or you're just crossing over and jumping there. You can also just classic jump over point and shoot either that side or that side. You can go pretty high with it too. But without off bosses, that's probably the extent of the sacking that's going to happen, is either from bottom, the ways of top left, and then really you can't really pressure because it's just such a slim doorway from top right. Or you can pressure it, but you can't really like get through it reliably. On soldier, it's pretty much just kind of this rip through. I don't know if there's any questions about pushing last.
I need to hop off, boys. I'll see you.
Okay, we'll see you.
Night, Fuka.
It's being recorded, so you can watch it later.
Sorry, I heard you. Goodbye.
We, I'm sure getting into it, but I honestly think our team, the biggest thing we struggle with is mid-fights. Just like all the different options you could have.
I like this mid quite a bit. I'm gonna be honest. Even on demo.
I like this mid too. It's just I just know what our team generally struggles with. Today,
I think the scrims I played today, I think I was just a little too aggressive.
Yeah, today what we ran was we just went right side and we kind of just went into them. That was the hope. Like we got I think we did actually like a pretty good job of like our soldier would get on our cafe. And like if they got someone on Bell Tower, we'd shoot that guy. If they had someone on top of our cafe, we'd shoot that guy. And it was really just like shoot the furthest person in front as we go right into them. But I think
that's the idea.
Yeah, we need like more options than that though. If that doesn't work, like
I mean, we can always. So I mean, what I should call, or what we should do is decide which way we want to go first, and I can decide that if you want. Because where I roll out is probably the most important. I love that spot.
Yeah, I'd say usually it's up to the demo.
But so Valley, if I roll out Valley, so here's the general train of thought my team had when we played this back in IM, which is if demo rolls out Valley, flank goes through choke basically, right?
Yeah.
And then if demo rolls out choke, then flank goes through Valley, and then you decide which direction you want to go off of that. If you go choke, it's probably better to go left, like just off rip. Trying to go choke and then rotate right.
What?
Or sorry, going Valley.
Oh yeah.
If you go Valley, you probably just want to go left because you're already so close to left. And trying to rotate back over to right kind of sucks because you don't have any high ground for your scouts to help you.
Right.
So kind of chungus if you do that. And then from there, just kind of depends on what you want to do.
If we're going close, right though, and we want to fight them early, like why would we want our flank to roll out Valley? Because they're going to be so far away. You know what I mean?
It's for vision. And also because you don't want 6 people to go through choke at the same time. Going cafe also isn't bad. If you want to go cafe fast, or like if you want to go right fast, you also send your flank through cafe.
Yeah, that's what I've historically did, or just send like 6 people choke and you just spread out early, you know.
I wouldn't send 6 people choke. If their demo's fast or their soldier is fast, you lose the mid.
Soddy, how is your Max's severed head changing colors? Did they add paints that do that or something?
No.
Or,
Oh wait, no, it could be a Halloween.
Halloween effect.
Yeah,
It's old.
You have a Halloween effect on your Max's severed
Bro,
head?
that's expensive.
Oh
Holy
my
shit.
gosh,
Over
dude.
here.
Okay. Max's head has been my favorite hat since I was 11 years old, so like about a decade. This isn't a spelled Max's head. This is a double spelled level 100 Max's head. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Holy shit.
Holy bro.
It's my most expensive item. I'm telling you, I love the Max's head. It's, as far as I'm aware, besides the glitched items, this is the best Max's head in the game. Besides glitch ones or vintage ones, but I'm not spending like 5 bands on Max's head. I didn't get this for that much,
Are you a
surprisingly.
Max fan?
I've never played the game. I don't know anything about the game.
Okay, well, it's a comic book series, first and foremost.
It is a
Oh, I just know the game.
It's a game.
They're good if you like point-and-click adventures. I really like them, personally.
Dude, the games are awesome.
I just played Season 1 for the first time. I started with Season 3, actually, but I still have to play Season 2.
Games are awesome.
Yeah, no, the Salmon Max is great. I love Salmon Max.
I mean, you can also have Fuko, because there's like the fast rollout you can do. We can also have a mid around that, like if you want a fast rollout on the demo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Soddy, what is the like? Can you answer this for me? Because I just don't understand this. I guess
It's the cafe.
the fast
Or sorry, it's the Valley rollout.
fast rollout on demo, right? How do you base a mid around that? Is it just if our soldier gets demo like good and dies for it? Like what should the rest of the team be doing if our soldier is doing the fast rollout to try and kill their demo like just instantly?
Kind of weird. I would say if you know this soldier is going for it, you might even want to. If the soldier is going for it, actually, my suggestion would probably be playing Central. Especially if you're the demo man and you know your soldier's going for it, you kind of want to load your one stick up and try and hit that demo also to help him do damage. Because, dear God, I hope he's not going for the spoon. He's going to have to shoot probably 2 rockets. If you're the demo, as soon as you get your choke or Valley, finding any way to get that far sticky onto the demo probably helps him. There's been many times where I've only ever hit the demo for like 80, and then my demo hits the demo and finishes him off with the stick.
Yeah, we do need to decide it early, because that's going to change what I do. Because I'm
Oh, you should be... Yeah, you should like decide it in the spawn room. Yeah. Like, I would say it's kind of more up to the roamer or the demo to tell the roamer, but you want to decide that from the spawn room. Anything later than, like,
chunky.
Anything later than maybe right here, so almost at the spawn room, is probably too late at that point. You should kind of just rely on, in general, if he doesn't get it, very, very like passively staying and seeing if you can get a pick, and if you don't, which is probably the most likely, it just leaving and playing second without a demo. If he does, you kind of just want to walk across point. Having a demo and them not having a demo, and you not having a soldier is very advantageous. Demo is very strong on mid. Just walking at them is pretty huge. Demo stops a lot of people from walking at them, so if they don't have a demo, usually you can probably kind of wipe them, or at least get medic or get some kills.
Okay.
If you lose a mid that after your roamer kills their demo and trades, you didn't play the game correctly. But that has happened to me many times. It's not like a rookie mistake, but you shouldn't let it happen.
So walk at them and then just, I don't know. I think the only thing that you'd have to look for is the soldiers are going to bomb you as you're walking across. But other than that, like, that's kind of the only thing that's their only out, is like they get a good double bomb on you as you walk at them and they kill 3 people or something. Okay.
And I don't even think they're going to go for 3 people. They'd probably just sell out for the med.
Sure, yeah. I mean, they have to get some pick that's going to salvage it.
Yeah.
Okay. And then on the left-hand rotate mids, my understanding of like what you want to try and do is, this is actually like a team coordination thing, is that if you guys rotate, I don't know, not necessarily faster, but just like as a team better than them, eventually as you sort of scramble up the mid, you'll just like, if you're better at it than they are, you'll catch one of their players who, I don't know, didn't rotate fast enough or rotated too fast or something, and that's how you get a pick. I don't know. How do you do the left one if they're also going left from their side?
That's kind of just up to your soldiers playing it correctly.
So
if you're meeting, it's just basically a battle of double bombs or countering their double bomb, and whoever does it better.
Yeah.
You might have a different opinion, Billy. I don't know if you do, but that's kind of how I see it.
No, I mean like specifically when you're just counter rotating
he means when you're like
against
running
each
away
other.
from each other.
Yeah. When you're just
when you're playing like loop-de-loop.
Yeah, I don't really. I just need like what's the ethos of that mid? Like, how do you do that one? Like, what's this?
I think you kind of had it well of just you out-rotate them and rotate them as a team better, or more coordinated, or you take less damage. Ideally, you're just catching a straggler, or you're making a play for your soldiers, but yeah, ideally in that situation is you infinitely rotate them and out-rotate them with damage spam and maintaining HP and heals that you eventually just pick off all the players. That's the, in theory, perfect form of TF2. Most likely is if you get a pick, if you lose a pick, you need to just play the mid for some sort of advantage gain, with preparation to either sell out or leave if you still can. I say leave if you still can, because if you half rotate and you're on their side and they get the pick, it's really bad, because either A, they can go to second and just play for you to come chase them, or B, they just crush you on their side of the map because you can't really be on their side of the map. They can just cap.
Right.
I would say a lot of times if you're rotating on a really long mid, like your mid is really long because you both are just rotating each other and not getting picks, I think that's kind of just an issue of both teams not doing something correct. I'm not really sure why, but it usually wouldn't last that long. But also just rotating, and if you play your heals really well or get a pick, it's never a bad idea to, off the pick, just if your soldiers are healthy, just in some way double bomb them. Or, I actually completely forgot about this until I just looked at it. If your soldiers are healthy and in position, and they are about to rotate into death corner, then you just double bomb into death corner and walk across point at them. I'd say that's something that probably is going to happen a lot, is your soldiers double bombing when they're in death corner, or as they're getting into death corner, and then you walking across point instead of just rotating around entirely.
So, where's the best spot to double bomb there? Like, so if we're going left and we just want to have a play on the mid where we say, okay, we're going to go left, but we're actually going to just initiate the double bomb when they make it to their death corner. Like, where should our soldiers be playing for that? That's a play I think I'm kind of interested in having us try.
So if you're... Wait. Okay, blue, rotating valley, or rotating through valley, going left, and they're counter-rotating,
Yeah.
Or are they meeting you?
No, they're counter.
If they're counter-rotating, you kind of almost want to just bomb as fast as you can, because they're going to get to the death corner really fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I would walk up like the wood plank and then start like walking across point. You'd probably take height, and then our soldiers would just probably send it into them.
Yeah, so soldiers can do it from a lot of ways. Either from here, and then sometimes they'll bomb either around, both ways. That's not that terrible, but I would say the most common of soldiers, what they'll do is either off this. Sometimes I do this often, where I'll just bait and wait for them to get there, and then land. I think you can get higher than that. Yeah, you can get way higher. It's landing there. This one isn't terrible too. If you can walk up and go.
Hey, I need to dip.
Oh, you're good, dude.
That's also kind of just how you bomb. I'd say it's mainly off this, that, and then off the side of here is where my soldiers are going to be bombing.
I see. Okay. Yeah, I think we'll try to put that in the playbook. I think, Billy, tell me if you think I'm wrong, but I honestly think our team does better on mids, or at least we have been recently, where we're just kind of like fighting them off the rip. You know what I mean?
Now, I think... Hey, soldiers watching this video. Now that our soldiers are actually somewhat coordinated, yeah, I think our aggressive mids have been going better. Like Itzy and Fuko have been doing... Their double bumps have been more productive. Than what we were doing previously, and even if like they don't go huge, usually they're at least getting damage, which is pretty good. Especially on this mid, I feel pretty. So the demo man we played against yesterday, who did better than me. Last time I played this map, I went fucking nuclear on demo man against him. And I really like this map. I think it's a really good demo map. I don't mind this map at all, and I feel like I could play pretty aggressive without getting punished too much.
Yeah.
And like obviously we can feel that out next week. I might be busy on Monday. We'll see.
Please don't be busy on Monday.
It's the one day I'm busy.
Damn.
But we'll see. I don't work Sunday. I don't work Monday. So if I'm not doing anything on Monday, I'll let you guys know.
Billy, is this Dungeons and Dragons again?
Yeah, it's always Dungeons and Dragons.
Billy.
It's always Dungeons and Dragons.
It's the one time my friends meet up every week.
What? You don't have work on Saturday or Sunday though?
No, I don't have work on Sunday or Monday.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do it on Sunday, bro. Please, we need you, buddy. Please.
I can't do it on Sunday.
All right. Well.
No one ever said Monday is the only day everyone has off together.
Okay. Well. I mean, listen.
We'll
I'm about rolling 20s with the boys too, but you know. Anyway. So
yeah.
Billy, what do you think our mid play should be? Right, I like the left-hand rotate, bomb across, just because I personally don't think we're going to be more coordinated than a lot of other teams, just to be completely honest. But
I mean that's fair. We also have been not together as a team very long.
Yeah.
I think it kind of depends on what the other team is doing. Like we're definitely gonna have to respond to what they're doing.
No, really.
But like we can try some like fast plays at the beginning and see how those work, and then we could go from there. So if like we want to just do like we rotate or we come out valley or we go choke, and if they're rotating right, we can just go into them when they go behind our Tetris.
Yeah.
Tetris? I don't remember. And then if like we go left, we can just like if they go left, we can always just commit across point and bomb them when they're in front of a cafe.
I like the mid though, where we left rotate, but then basically bomb off the rip, because it's good if they go left or if they go right. You see what I mean? Because our soldiers just land on different stuff.
It depends. I don't know if it's that great if they go right.
No, because our soldiers are already in the air. Like, we're gonna have our soldiers land first before their soldiers do.
Well, yeah.
Because their soldiers are going to be like, oh, bomb them, they're coming into us. And they're like, we're already bombing. Like, like your demo's already getting air shot, bro. Anyway.
I will say you're going to have to keep hella track of soldiers this mid, though.
No, I know.
Also Flank Scout, if you're watching this video.
Shoe shocker!
Running under point is really good on this map. Let me tell you, I caught so many demos doing this. like it's not like an always thing. You shouldn't always do that. Like sometimes help prop with soldiers and stuff. But if like one of their soldiers is down, or there's good damage on their demo, and you can go under point and pressure their demo real quick, or just help our soldiers with the bomb, it's really good. Because most of the time their team's gonna be turned towards the soldiers, and you can like walk up and shoot the demo or shoot the medic.
Here, wait, sorry, can you go under point just real quick? Yeah.
But you should only go under point when they're distracted.
Yeah. So
if they're not distracted and there's a soldier watching you, you either eat a lot of damage or die.
What I did last season as flank scout was I would go under. Actually, I would wait a little bit before doing it, because if you go under immediately, they see you because they're coming out a lot like valley, right? But if you go under point like right now, like you can fake it out, and they're like around the cafe, you can actually fake going under, make people look at the back, come back out where sodyyy is now, and then just go to the right, actually. No, sorry. Go back under point. Trying to micro. Okay, cool. Go out to go left, and then turn 90 degrees to your right, and then just like go, no. Go to the right now. So bad. Left, okay, turn right, and then just walk up this slope a little bit to your right. You can use, this is insane cover where you can like just head peek the demo as he's like walking up the ramp and just kill him. Like, yeah, right here. You can just hit like 80 damage shots in their demo and only your head is poking out right here. Which I do that all the time in Pugs and when I was playing F-Scout last season. I love that spot, that little piece of tech, you know. Make them think you're coming out the back, then come out the front. Anyway, thanks.
This is one of my go-tos, actually. That was not my fault. Okay.
Okay.
I was on the stair for that one. You splash everything and choke doing that. I saw Laz do this. That's my go, so. That's a great way to start the mid on soldier. Oh, two stack spots, by the way. If they're pushing calf or choke here on Rimmer, this spot's nuts. That's really good, as well as, oh, you can right, you can also. I hate hide spots, but this hide spot is not that bad, actually. You can spam over.
You gotta tell Fuko that. He hides all the time. That's his favorite thing to do is hide.
He's gotta break that habit.
Yeah, I don't think it works for him that much, honestly. I think people at this division, they check the hiding spots every time, basically.
Hiding spots are most effective in lower divs, and then they get less effective as you go up. That's why I always tell lower div people to stop using them, because it's just building a bad habit. Okay. But low-key throwing this one in. This is a once-a-nighter. Oh, you gotta like do it well.
Is this a pixel walk? It's okay.
I don't know. You just hold W. You don't have to do any sort of like edge bug shit. I'm just holding W. I'm not holding anything right now. This one's pretty easy to do. That one's useless. Don't even use that. But that's a just this spot as well as this in general is really strong. Being able to just sit here and then not see calf and then bombing over. I do see this in invite happen a lot, so I think it's good. That's kind of the only stack spot. I think I had another, but I kind of forgot.
Okay. Are there any like forward spawn shenanigans that we need to be like sniper? Like I feel like
if one of them dies on mid and you go really fast, or if you go really slow and you push through calf, there could be a heavy in here. I love gumming up heavy and sitting and then opening the door. It's so stupid.
I did that tonight actually. They dropped their demo like before they forced to it, and it was like.
It's awesome.
It was pretty fun.
I don't really know about other, like the mid one, or like any sort of anything else besides this one, but yeah, coming up heavy and forwards is really good on this map. Or if they're really fast and they're leaving their flank scout, and you've waited in here long enough, which is a crazy bait, but it could pay off. You're killing the capper. If you're on scout, you don't have to walk very far from there to there, and if you're on soldier, the scout is in such a small, like terrible room that you're probably gonna get the kill no matter what class you're on.
Okay. Billy, is there anything else we should ask? I'm not thinking of anything right now, but... Oh, he's muted. Okay.
Got some now.
I think that pretty much clears it up. I really appreciate you doing this for us. We should have been doing more map reviews with actual mentors earlier in the season, but you know,
That's hard.
It's yeah, you know, it's hard. So
yeah, I don't think I'm very good at mentoring, but I kind of have fun with it.
yeah, I mean, I think you did a pretty good job. I learned a lot of stuff, so.
I will say that I probably actually I do learn some stuff when I do it, which is kind of the main reason I like doing it. Just asking questions about mid made me actually think about mid, and as a flank player, I feel like a lot of flank players, even really good ones, still don't understand a lot of mids because their like plays are so like set in stone. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I feel like a high main combo scout player probably knows how a mid works better than like a low advanced like flank scout or roamer. Roamer specifically. Gotta flame my roamer boys out there.
Yeah, I think like especially on the rotational mids, something if we're gonna emphasize those is just like everyone getting healed. Especially I want Shoe Shocker. Like I want my scout to basically. It's almost like Koth. You know, in like Koth, you're like your flank scout comes and gets like 185, like before they go and do anything.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably like a good practice to have because you can do it on the rotational mids. It's such a big mid, right? You have time to just like. It's also not really hard to like keep all of them in front of your eyes. You don't need them like watching flank, quote unquote, like all the time. I don't know. Just keeping people healthy is like how you win. So.
That's practically what high level TF2 is. It's just using heals more efficiently than the enemy.
I will say I do think it's a little hard for. So the big reason is that demos are usually pretty low at the start of this mid because there's no packs for them to grab unless they roll out really slow. Because there's one in Valley, but when you roll out Valley, you kind of have to take that anyways because of fall damage.
Right.
Depending on how fast you roll out, I guess. I'm not the best demo player, to be honest. Especially with my rollouts. Holy shit, dude! If you watch my POV from yesterday, oh my.
Dude, I watched your
anyways.
POV. I watched the rollouts you did when we were when we got 05'd on Snakewater. You got to mid like distinctly slower than their demo every single mid, and they started the mid like with 100 extra health than you because you would basically, I don't know, you'd get to mid and you would take like an 80 damage sticky every single mid to start.
Yeah, it's because I would get there so slow, and there would already be a sticky at the door, and they would just dead it on me.
Yeah.
Holy shit, this dude's goated.
Oh. Great start.
Okay. Yeah, I have a problem hitting this sticky, dude.
Isn't it like the thing with the stick? Yeah, it
Damn,
comes up
you're
to the
kicking
right of your
away from it.
crosshair.
Wow, I'm overcompensating a lot for it.
No, you need to go. You need to
There.
compensate more. Yeah, there you go.
That's what it is. If I line up my crosshair on the thing, it depends where I am, I suppose. Wow, this one's harder than the goalie walk, man. I didn't realize Sunshine was like low key.
Yeah.
I think I might wrap it up. How do you the room roll out? Oh shit!
Oh my god, he's goated. He's goated.
No, I really want to learn. I really want to learn demo movement tech. It looks so cool.
Yeah, I really should practice some jumps on this map. Like the double sticky through top right is kind of essential. I can do it, I'm just not great at it.
You ever just load up the map offline and just like practice that? Like bind 1 to shoot plus impulse 101, so that way.
Yeah, that's what I have.
Yeah, I have that too. It just like it'll resupply you every time you click.
Yeah.
And you just do all the
You can
jumps
just
you want.
spam.
I just go hurt me negative 10,000.
Yeah, but this does your ammo too, so it like.
Yeah.
you can just chain together 8 rockets or stickies or whatever.
That's too easy.
I'm glad to know that people do that also. I like don't know anyone else who does that.
I did it because for actually making maps like in Hammer and like jumping around in the soldier, but because I don't actually play soldier, but I don't know. It's funny because one time it was like pre-game, I was like 40-0 for some reason. I was like, why has no one managed to kill me? And I realized SV cheats for whatever reason was on, so every time I was clicking, I was like never.
Yeah,
I couldn't die. Good thing I was.
I'm pretty sure.
It's a
Pretty sure that was the young sanity controversy, wasn't it?
Was it?
When he had Buddha mode enabled in that one pug.
Wait, what is Buddha mode?
Buddha is the same thing as God mode. It leaves you at 1 HP so you can't die, and Young Sanity like was running a pug server, and he didn't realize that he had SV cheats on, and nobody put it together, and neither did he. But there's just like a VOD of it, because he was streaming. He lives at like 1 HP exactly like 10 times, and he's like, dude, I keep getting so lucky, what the fuck is this?
I didn't
And
know.
then after...
What is the console command for this? I've never heard of this.
Buddha?
Is it just Buddha? Really?
Or is it? It's 2 A's.
Yeah, 2 D's, yeah.
Buddha mode on.
And you just can't die. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Breach quit.
How do you forget that you
Alright.
have that on? That's crazy.
I don't. That was the controversy. People being like, "There's no way he forgot. He was just pretending."
And he's streaming this happen. He's streaming himself basically.
Yeah, he streamed it
in his cheating in his pug server.
Yeah, I kind of believe it because I don't know if you're recording. No disrespect.
I am, but
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. He has not consistently made the greatest decisions of all time, so it does not surprise me that he would forget because he's a pretty competitive kid. I am not a Young Sanity hater. He is pretty competitive, so I don't think he'd like want to cheat if he could. I think he just legitimately was kind of lost and thought he was living at 1 HP. I don't know. Young Sanity's an interesting kid, but
2 times in one match, you're like, wow, that's a crazy coincidence. 10 times, you're like, there's the chances of that happening are so low that clearly the explanation is no longer it just happened randomly that way. So
yeah. Well, also the fact that he was playing a combat with 0 deaths in the entire log is kind of crazy, but
yeah, really.
I don't know. It was like an IM pug scrim from like a year ago.
Shouldn't you be able to see the fact like, hey, I just took damage, or like I got direct rocketed at 30 HP and I somehow only took 29 damage from it? Like that doesn't.
I actually don't think that was an issue. I think for some reason he was only taking 1v1s against scouts on flank scout. Like that was like a thing that he was never getting like trapped.
Oh. Because that would make it pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Like if you ever took damage while you were already at 1 HP. Like, yeah.
Or if you walk through a trap and live at 1 HP, I feel like instantly I'd be like, why didn't I die?
Or you run into a sentry and it like levitates you for like 5 seconds and you're like, huh.
Yeah, there's no sentries. If that happened, that would have been like everyone would have noticed. But there wasn't any sentries in the VOD as far as I remember.
That's so fun. I'm gonna have to go watch this VOD. I gotta do some investigating.
Yeah, I don't know. This was like a year ago. I'm not holding against the kid. I thought it was pretty funny.
I mean, it's just a pug.
Yeah, like it's an
in
in-house Discord pug
server. It's not really it's not a big deal really.
It's not even really cheating. It's just
cheating. This is being like it's silly.
Just being a little dumb, just a tiny bit. Forgetting you had Buddha mode on somehow. I don't know. Like you turned it on when you initiated the server and you forgot to turn it off or something. I don't know. I'm kind of confused how you would even manage to do that, but
yeah.
Anyway. All right, I'm gonna go to sleep now because it's late. But we appreciate you doing this, Soddy.
Of course.
Happy 4th to everyone.
Oh yeah, it's 4th of July.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to go to work tomorrow for time and a half. It's gonna be awesome.
Dude, I'm so sad they didn't schedule me tomorrow.
I know, bro.
Oh,
you know you're like down bad when you're like, damn, schedule me for holidays.
Wait, Soddy, what do? You get time and a half for it.
I work in a pharmacy.
Oh, dude, my wife's a nurse. She's working tomorrow, which kind of sucks. She's doing an 11 to 11, so she's gonna miss the fireworks.
Oh my god!
But she gets holiday pay too, so it's pretty good.
That's pretty good. I get off